Now we're looking to see that conversation turned into action. I think that's what all of Canada is waiting for. We're looking for that leadership, and we're looking for words to be turned into action.
Sydney Fizzard for Rebel News here in downtown Calgary, Alberta, here at the Global Energy Show on day 2. And in this report, we spoke with Minister of Affordability and Utilities for Alberta, Nathan Neudorf.
Energy, electricity, these are driving forces in our lives, powering our homes, businesses, and new technologies, and fueling entire industries like AI and data centers, which we've heard some about today. Another driving force, and one that is very much present today, is the spirit of innovation. In Alberta, we pride ourselves on creating an environment that encourages new ideas and technologies and gives them room not only to grow, but to thrive.
At the Global Energy Show, I think the message is that Alberta is a huge contributor to Canada, and we can do more if we have a cooperative federal government and great collaboration with our neighboring jurisdictions. We want to be a huge part of the solution, the future of an energy superpower as Canada, and Alberta wants to play its part and be a leader in that.
Well, speaking of friendly ties all over, it seems like provincially you guys are getting along very well with others. It seems like with the United States, there's hopefully some ground that's going to be made there. Even OPEC was here and put out a keynote address. It seems like you're bringing all parties together, but I don't see the federal government being represented here at the Global Energy Show.
Well, maybe it's just a schedule. I do know that Minister Tim Hodgins was out here, one of his very first stops after being sworn in. We've had a great conversation. I think our Premier has also indicated some good conversations with the Prime Minister. Now we're looking to see that conversation turned into action. I think that's what all of Canada is waiting for. We're looking for that leadership, and we're looking for words to be turned into action.
Well, and speaking of action means that Albertans and Canadians are going to see affordability come back into their lives. It seems like over the last few years, that's dissipated quite rapidly. What is your key focus when it comes to bringing affordability back to Albertans?
Yeah, affordability comes from a number of sources, one not least of which is managing inflation and spending, but it also means investing in projects that return productivity and return profit to Albertan individuals and businesses. That's what will drive affordability and good competition, which will help lower costs. It's why we're focused on electricity and generation, not just on generation costs, but also all those other things: transmission, distribution, retail rates, fees and accesses and taxes. These things are in the purview of governments. Serving our constituents well is what will lead the way to affordability being a bigger part of their lives.
And in terms of affordability and utilities, how can the federal government make your life easier?
Again, they can help us collaborate. If we can get our generating power to more markets, either by attracting industry to come to Alberta or exporting our surplus generation to other jurisdictions, we all win by having more people pay for the same infrastructure, or relatively amount the same of infrastructure. That's how we all win. That's how we drive prices down, increase jobs, increase wages, increase productivity, and Alberta wins and Canada wins.
In some senses, Alberta is going to be in between Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Donald Trump in a few days now for the G7. Who do you think that you're going to hear a stronger stance from that would benefit Alberta?
I think there will be many interesting conversations happening there, and we don't necessarily want to mediate that. We do want to see a path of diplomacy. Economic tariffs and those kind of measures hurt parties on both sides of the border. We want to see a collaborative building together, a strengthening of trade relationships. Alberta and Canada are looking at other trade routes. When you have too much invested in just one, you leave yourself susceptible to this, but we hope that a more diplomatic tone will be struck and we can have constructive conversations about a stronger North America moving into the future. Thanks very much for being here. Again, Alberta, a leader within Canada on energy, all types of energy. We love seeing innovation. We love seeing businesses come up with future solutions. And again, partnership will be the path forward to make us all prosper.
Hope you enjoyed what he had to say. Let me know in the comments what you think the path forward is to restore affordability for everyday Canadians. For Rebel News, I'm Sydney Fizzard. DoneGettingScrewed.com is where you have to go if you want to see the latest on the Western Province's independence movement. And right now, for a limited time, get your tickets to our Rebel News live event in Red Deer, where we're going to be bringing all parties together to have the conversation that the province of Alberta is looking for when it comes to separation.